So that thing that you saw in that premonition, it was a tower moment. It turned reality. So that was a tower moment for you. And once you bear witness that, it stung you in a way where it's like, well, now I know for sure now is not the time for what I'm trying to work towards. So now I gotta go back. It's like now I gotta get back into or just fixate more onto spiritual practice in other ways. Yes, right. See how she's building. It could be her building on her brand or just working on herself and just minding her own sexuality for a while. She's taking care of herself for a while. And they go that world card again. But I feel like in this illustration, it's a new beginning. It's a rebirth of you, where it can also represent you balancing your spirituality and your practicality, because that's earth and that's water. That's Piscean and Scorpio energy, but that's earth energy too. So that's practical, that's tangible. So you're trying to balance out your spirituality. Look how she's flushed in the face. Your spirituality with your practicality, with your needs. And this is what you're working on currently so that you can. You know what she reminds me of? That bull, that ride thing that kind of rocks you back and forth and you straddle it, and if you ain't careful you gonna ride that shit you gonna fall off of it. That's what that looked like. It's like you want to do those things, but at the same time your lifestyle is so modest and shy that you want to be careful not to come off as too vile. Meanwhile, as you're doing your work, doing the work, you know, you got the Seven of Wands. You got these. I think this is a nightmare for you. Because on one hand, it's like you have these same desires, but you're so shy about surrendering, well, not surrendering, just releasing your inhibition. You're so shy about releasing your inhibition. You are not sure that all that hard work you're doing is going to go out the window. You already feel like that to some degree. That's why you disengage like that. It just puts you in a real weird space that you feel like you almost feel like all that shit, all that work I did went out the damn window. But it really didn't. I don't feel like it did. Now you have to recalibrate and go back to calmer, smooth, recalibrate into smooth sailing water, or just a place of peace. Yeah, you move forward through feeling out, while you feel afraid, like you feel a lot of fear. Like this journey at this point with what you've just recently experienced, you have a lot of fear moving forward, but you're moving forward anyway. And that's just like it's scary to you because you just don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know who you're going to end up with, but you can't let your past hold you back because it'll turn karmic for you. You'll turn yourself karmic. Surrender. What did I just say about surrendering? Let go and let God. Because what I think this is triggering is like, is this a blast from the past? Am I even perpetuating any kind of habit that I once had that I moved away from? Is this triggering me to go back to that? That's what you feel like. But what you need to do is go into your moon energy. Your moon is in Pisces. Okay? What is my South Node, Sagittarius? Okay, meditate. Relax. Like this, you're like a fish out of water right now. Like, this is like a spiritual evolution but it's freaking you out at the same time. Why are you so freaked out? It's time to take action. Well, did you crawl into your shell? Why? Take time to breathe. I feel like you're having a damn panic attack or something. You in a dark night of the soul. That's what I think you are. Or whoever this would resonate with, whoever would sit here and listen to this. You're in a dark night of the soul because you got panic, panic, panic. That's what I keep hearing. Why are you in regret? What do you regret? That's more Piscean energy. You're struggling to see things from a different perspective. It's like your heart and your head is not aligned with how you're perceiving this particular experience. Like your heart is saying, but I gave in, I surrendered to a connection. But your logic and your brain is saying, however, though, you're still on a spiritual journey. So let it teach you what it's supposed to teach you. See things from a different perspective. What is this? Six of Pentacles. Because it's unrequited. Like take time to breathe out. Breathe. It's unrequited. What's the bottom of the card say? Yep. Why do you feel like you're standing your ground, but you feel disgusting about how all this played out? Like you feel ridiculous. Like this is heavy on your shoulders and it's heavy on your heart. First of all, God bless you and whoever resonates with this message, because don't let a particular part of the journey overshadow all the good. Like you 99.9 did everything right, but because you're still a human being. So if something didn't go in the most healthy fashion, not just for you but for somebody else, it doesn't mean all that stuff went out the window. Like you're really upset about this, even though you're maintaining integrity about it. Like you're trying to do what's strong for both you and the other person. You're trying to and still show up for the world. Like you got to keep going, but it bothers you. But the good news is, like the Four of Cups is disappointment. Like you don't see that cup right there just because those three cups are knocked over. It was in reverse. So you're not rude about it moving forward. You are actually in a position, allowing yourself to just, okay, I can smile and just start. Let me just start over. Let me just take a new route. Take all of it, just gather it all up and just move forward. And the Knight of Wands is in reverse. When it's upright, it's like the wounded warrior, defensive, but you feel more defenseless because you're taking on this free-spirited energy. It's saying let the past be the past. I'm trying not to just get caught up in that and that negative way of thinking. But I want to take that negative way of thinking and turn it into a very influential message for the people. Well, good for you. You know why? Because I still have a double mission. I still am. Let me see I still am hopeful. I'm still optimistic. I can still love. I choose to still be warm-hearted. What did I say? Learn how to be human in a world, but not of it. So you're not going to let the toxicity, you leave off the toxicities and move to the healthy stuff. Keep the healthy stuff. I'm sorry. defenselessness, riding past wrongs upward. And I feel like you're repenting for what you did. Like, you so, like, I feel like you're afraid. Like, that's where that fear is stemming from. Because you feel like you got too practical through this journey and allowed yourself to be more human and shy away from what you initially were doing for all this time. But I feel like the Most High is telling you, you know, things are not set in stone. You still have opportunities to keep going. Protection, loyalty, safety, trust. Like, you still possess all those qualities. Birthing creations, tapestry of life expression. Look at it. It's like, if you want to look at it from a different perspective, look at it like it enhanced those qualities and those abilities for you, and it's good material to be able to teach people how to see things from a different perspective. You know, a different way to go about things in this fashion, when you go about things in a fashion like this. So basically, if you was like in a romantic connection or in a friendship or at a workplace or in a family dynamic that totally backfired in a way where you were not expecting it, you didn't mean for it to go that way, you didn't want it to go that way, you know. But it's like, if you feel like you fell into temptation with that devil card there, taking a risk, if you feel like you were too naive in a situation or just too vulnerable in a situation, trying to be optimistic, where it's like, if you feel like keeping it real went very wrong, okay, I would say, let me shuffle these. The psychology behind that is, how would I want to be encouraged right now? How would I want to hear? Think about that. How would I want to be encouraged right now to keep moving forward? You have to have balance in that inner child and mother in that inner child, and still you got to nurture your spiritual garden. And I feel like you did that so much that it created an imbalance, ironically, and you were less humane. That's how you were able to get into a situation where you might have felt like, I gave into temptation and I regret it. Have compassion for yourself. What kinds of routines or habits limit my experience of everyday life? Whether you're spiritual or practical, you can't be one way, too far one way or the other. That's what I would say. So to wrap this up, what advice would I give? There you go. Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. Keep it lighthearted. Okay? Stay hopeful. Stay optimistic. And don't forget that, you know, you still have a mission. You know, you're not the scum of the earth because you're a human being. Okay? And when you're strong for other people, you know, you allow, that's what being the leader is steering the ship the best way you know how, and finding your pleasures in the meantime. I'm going to take a card from this deck too. Guide, the illuminated path. I like the wolf in this picture. I'm trying to take the reflectant off the picture. Let the Most High be your guide, you know, or higher power be your guide. Don't try to take matters into your own hands, and definitely this is a death of ego experience, and it might be the endings of that death of ego with the full moon in Scorpio, and then you have Mercury in retrograde. I was about to say Mercury. But it's a rebirth. That ego, that's it. Whatever happened dies with that ego. Look at it from that way. And birthed a stronger person.